31:30. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain. But a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. 1 Peter chapter 3 and in verse 7. 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 7. Put down from verse 1, but let's look at put down from verse 1. Okay, let's look at the whole verse. It will help us. Likewise, ye wife, be ye in subjection to your own husband, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives, while they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear, whose adorning let it not be that of outward adorning, of plaiting of the hair, and of wearing of gold, or of putting on of apparel, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, in that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which in the sight of God of great price. For after this manner in the old time, the holy women also who trusted in God adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husband, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well, are not afraid with any amazement. Likewise, ye husband, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife, as unto the weaker vessels, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. Our Father, thank you because your word will come with life. Bless us through your word in Jesus' name. I want to talk to us tonight on what I titled Wisdom for Marital Fulfilment. Wisdom for Marital Fulfilment. Let me say this to you. It's good to have a good marriage. It's good to have a sweet marriage. But it is not all good marriages and not all sweet marriages that have fulfillment. You know, some people choose a good life. People choose good life, but they don't choose fulfillment. Have you not heard of people that are in marriages where they have been abused, and where they are just there as employer and employee, and yet they want to continue there? Are you aware that oftentimes ladies are not married to who they love or to who they would fulfill destiny with, but they are married to someone that is ready. Married to someone that is ready. That's the reason why you can see some ladies dating a man, even though the word dating is not the Christian word, it's not a biblical word. The word dating is not biblical. I think we need to. I've been begging mommy to do a work about that. We are trusting God that God will help her to be able to put that piece together about marriage, and that will cover a lot of issues of concern, because there are a lot of issues that is being swept under the carpet. And those of you that have who may not be able to finish it, will keep from time to time, do what God wants us to do. Because in the last 2 months, we've dedicated it for marriage. So take time, get the tapes, listen to them. Now, in Proverbs chapter 31, verse 30, the Bible speaking, it said that beauty is vain. Okay, you've not seen people that got married because the lady is beautiful. I've told you the story of one of my dear friend. The first time I met him, how are you? Fine. Can you tell me about yourself? He said, I'm an evangelist. This is the name of my ministry. I'm a married man with, I think, 4 kids, but my wife is not beautiful. No, I'm telling you, that's what the man said to me. He said, my wife is not beautiful, but it is the will of God. I said that is just a word of consolation for him. But meanwhile, the question is, who determines who is beautiful? What scale do you use to measure who is beautiful and who is not beautiful? So, but we have a lot of people, what they want to look for is fair damsel. Damsel that is fair, damsel that is figure 8, damsel that have pointed nose, damsel that is fat. You know, there are people that want fat damsel, want slim damsel, and so on. But the Bible says that those things are vain, that what matters is the woman that fears the Lord. But are you aware that we have a lot of, including Christians or believers, that if you ask them to list what they are looking for in a woman, that one of the list they will tell you is the one that have the fear of the Lord. Ladies who want to marry, I've heard them say it before, they want to marry the guy that is romantic. Say he is spiritual, but it's not romantic. And all these things are what we get on social media, not the Bible, not from the altar of marriage. And let me begin by saying that looks fade. Looks fade. Filter lies, but character stays. We live in a world where it is easy to be attracted to the surface, to style, to beauty, to photos, to social media presence. But marriage isn't a photo shoot, it's a real life. Okay, have you noticed that there are people that you see them, they are photogenic when you see them physically? Let me be sincere to you. For those of you that are married, newly married, and for those of you that want to get married, and for those of you that your marriage have been older than our own, real life gets messy. Real life gets messy. Let me be sincere to you. There may be times that your partner will go to the restroom and may forget to flush the thing. There may be time when they go to ease themselves, the thing the kind of odor that will come. Sometimes in the journey of life, there is going to be job losses, sickness, misunderstandings, tired seasons, silent treatments, family dramas, and unexpected detours. Your wife just wakes up, all of you slept together well, and she wakes up, she begins to give you silent treatment, she begins to frown her face, you begin to ask her, she say nothing. And when that mess shows up, you will want someone who doesn't check out or shut down. You will want someone who doesn't check out or shut down. You will want a partner to lean on. To lean on. And who lean on? Who sit with, listens, helps you figure it out, and stays with you. Now, can I say this to you? So marry someone who brings peace, not pressure, depth, not someone whose presence is just like a picture, not pretense. Someone that if he says, I am with you, it means I am with you all the way. I heard a woman said, for better for stay, for worse for go. And after 25 years, the husband retired. No more Malachi. And meanwhile, when the husband retired, they paid the husband millions of naira. She took everything. She was the one that dictated how it would be spent. The husband worked for 35 years. There's no single roof. When your husband was not in the country and they were paying in dollars and the salary is with you, you couldn't achieve anything. And when he came back, with the money he came back, you called your children, all of you surrounded the man, say, okay, settle us. Not, please marry somebody that vision, that two of you plans together. Now, can I say this to you too? Support isn't just for storms, it's for dreams too. If you are getting married, don't just because we have talked about life can get messy, but we are equally saying if you are getting married, don't marry somebody that will only support you when things are not. Have you seen a lot of things happen on social media where some people will say they are doing, what do you call that now? Well, yes, blind date, but they are equally doing prank to test loyalty. Don't just marry somebody that will stay with you through storms. In marriage, we talk about being there for our partner during tough times, ill times, family struggles, or job losses. But support shouldn't only show up when things fall apart. It should also shine when something beautiful is trying to come. Can I say this to you? Are you aware that there are men that wants to marry a partner that will check, they want to check if the partner will be with them during hard times or tough times. But are you aware that that is not just that? There are partners that cannot stand your progress. Are you aware if you are a global woman, please don't marry a local man. If you are a global man, don't marry a local woman. These are some of the things even during your premarital counseling they won't teach you. So I beg you, take all those tapes. For 2 months now I've been teaching about that. And some of these things nobody taught me during my own time of marriage. We learned by experience. We learned by in pains. We learned by trial and error. Are you aware that there are men, the moment they get married to their wife, They will tell their wife to stop working. There are men that will not withstand their wife any more than them. Are you aware there are men that will not agree for their wife to take up a certain role that will make her to move forward in her career? They believe that if the woman earns more, makes more money, that the woman will not respect him. Listen, as much as we need support during storm, which is very important, we equally need support for our dreams, our goals, our visions. Now, let me show you what it means for you and your partner to be people that work together in real life to achieve. Now, the number one sign is cheer for their ambition, like you do for their pain. If your spouse says, I want to start a business, don't just nod your head and say, okay. Ask questions. Dream with them. Offer help. Be their hype person. Your belief in them may be the courage they need to take the first step. No. Sometimes mommy sit down to say, I want to buy this so and so goods. I want to do this. I give my, not just that I give my verbal support. Sometimes I make transfer to support what you have. And on a serious note, sometimes you say, okay, can you just give me later, I pay. I won't even remember to ask again. Sometimes you say, this material, this. Said, okay. Even though sometimes I didn't know anything about it, but I keep giving the ideas I know. So these coins, I say, okay. Now, don't downplay their goals just because you don't understand them. Don't downplay their goals. But there was a time, mommy made me to, in fact, she has made me to invest in some businesses that I didn't know. I got invest through. And I did that just to encourage her. So don't downplay their goals because you don't understand them. You might not fully get their creative ideas, their career, or passion. But support doesn't require complete understanding. It requires respect. Sometimes the dream is still forming and it needs a safe place to grow. Number 3, offer practical help, not just encouragement, not just support. Just ask them, how can I help? How can I come into the picture? Oftentimes, it may not be financial. Oftentimes, what the children, why they study, proofread their proposal, the proposal of your spouse. Attend their first workshop. Celebrate the small wins. Your actions can whisper, I believe in you, rather than word could. I know when we agreed that mommy will go to school, mommy was in school for many years. Sometimes I'll be the one with the children, bet the children, stay with the children. Sometimes she could travel from here to Zaria. She was in Ahmadu Bello University. I'll be with the children. Sometimes go into the kitchen 4:35 a.m. to go and make breakfast because children need to go to school to make sure they go to school for years until she graduated. Avoid making them choose between you and their dream. and said, don't choose anyone. And it's you that will be complaining that you are the one carrying the load. The woman is not useful. And the woman, and two, it's not just because, let me tell you, it's not just because of the salary, it's not just because of the pay. The person needs to be updated, the person needs to upgrade, the person needs to sharpen his or her skill. A healthy marriage makes room for both the relationship and individual growth. A healthy marriage. If your spouse feels like pursuing a dream might cause tension at home, they might start shrinking themselves to keep the peace. That's not support. That's silent sabotage. That is silent what? Sabotage. Your partner shouldn't only feel your support when life is falling apart. They should also feel it when they are trying to rise, because real love cheers in the rain and in the spotlights too. Support their peace and their purpose. It's not either or it is both. A young man got married to a wife. The wife was doing a federal job at that time, and the man was working in somewhere where he earned less than 30,000. And he now told the wife he must resign from that job. And please, before you get married to anyone, whether as a male or as a female, you must have discussions where you will live. What do you do about job, children, and so many other things, finance in the family. Your dreams, your visions, your goals, your ambitions. And they got the family involved, the man's family. They came to me and said, before you marry this lady, we told you this is what she's doing. We're not saying she shouldn't be with you, but we are saying she will not resign from the job. You must find a way to balance it. Either you get transferred to move her to where you are or something. What you are earning is barely enough, and you want? We insisted. We insisted. The man didn't like me. Even though when God now help us to fight the thing today, the lady doesn't call me. The lady will only call me when they have challenge. When the man said, I wanted to buy a car, the lady said, okay, I'm doing some savings. When I get the money, I will add to what you have, we will get a car. Wow, what a good plan. The guy said, why would you stop me from buying my car? The guy took loan, bought car, and was driving the car. The lady saved for 1 year, added money together. When he now knew that the lady wanted to collect the ajo, he now quickly sold that car. I said, hey, can we now? The lady said, no. No, you bought your car, me. And the lady now got her friend that wanted to sell her own car to buy another one. The lady bought. He said, go and return that car. Choose between this car and marriage. And say, tell him that me, I say, you choose the car and you choose him. Yes. Okay, would you tell him not? See, husbands buy car and gift their wife as gift. And you have a wife that wants to support, whether you believe it or not. If the woman is driving that car, except the woman tells, or you go and say she bought it, even if she bought it, whose wife? You didn't know how many people that met me and said, the way you are allowing your wife to shine, she will outshine you. I said, if she outshines me, whose wife? And I've been invited in so many places to preach. I didn't go. I intentionally asked her to go. But the win is our win. And she has understood it, and that's why she's throwing all her support. I don't know if you're understanding me. Now, when the lady met another woman of God, spoke to the woman of God, said Christianity is not witchcraft. Bring the car, let me dedicate. But after that time, is that her husband that started driving the car. So kill your ego. How to balance togetherness and individuality. See, I'm just pointing at some few things. Now, the first thing we have looked at that beauty is not the main thing, that the main thing is what? Character. The second thing we looked at is what? That support isn't just for storm, but for dreams. Now, the third one is how to balance togetherness and individuality. Now, one of the silent struggles many couples face is finding the sweet spot between being close and being yourself. You lose your spouse, but also you love your spouse, sorry, but also you don't want to lose yourself in the way. And guess what? That's not selfish, it is healthy. When marriage starts to feel like we are always together and I can't breathe, we live like roommates and I feel distant, it's time for reset. Here is how to find balance. Don't confuse closeness with clinginess. Are you aware you are supposed to leave father and mother and cleave? It is beautiful to do things together. Date nights, joint decisions, shared goals, but healthy love gives space too. You don't need to share every hobby or thought. Emotional connection doesn't require constant connection. There are things you will like, your wife won't like, but you find a way to balance. Number 2, nurture your personal growth. Take that course. Join that gym. Journal. Spend time with your friends. When you invest in your own growth, you bring more life into the relationship. You are not just a partner, you are a whole person. Are you aware? I think last week I was teaching, I said that you shouldn't love and lose. Love shouldn't cost you your individuality, your identity. Talk about your needs honestly. Say it kindly, like, I love spending time with you. I also need quiet moments to recharge. Communication is key. Gazing games creates distance. You assume, you gaze. Number 4, establish us time and me time. Us time and me time. There are times I know that my wife wants to be alone, either to study, either to pray, either to do things. I give her that space. There are times she knows that I need to be alone. Like this morning, we finish our devotion. After the morning devotion, I went back to my position. I think we didn't talk again until a few minutes to 12 noon. There's a position if I take in the morning or any time, my wife knows that this one needs time to pray and so on. You know, that was a day. I woke up in the morning, we finished devotion, and the grace that came that day was to study and write. So I was writing from around 9 till around 5 in the evening. I will only get up and go and ease myself and get back. She came 2-3 times to talk to me. She still noticed. Because she knows she may not say anything. She wants to talk. If she walk in and move around, I look at her, I will make comment. Or I'll get up and come and hug her. So I didn't. She came back the last time in the evening. He said, I married book. Now let me say this to you. When you invest, when you invest on yourself, you are investing. When you invest on yourself, you bring more life. Listen to me, the greatest blessing you will have is when your partner becomes his or herself. If they don't become themselves, they will become shadows. Number 4, establish time and me time. It could be weekly, it could be weekends, it could be just as two of you knows what you do, you know your time, you know your schedules. But establish times you can sit together, talk together, Also, respect alone time. Whether it is reading, it is praying, it is walking, or just breathing. Understand that. Number 5, celebrate each other's differences. You don't just have to share all the same interests. Allow each other to be fully themselves. Support each other's passion, even when they are different from yours. Yes, there are times me and mommy sit down, talk about ministry, talk about spiritual things. But there are times you see her, either she's taking course in business and so on. He's talking about business. Me, I don't know. Ask her. She has gone to seminars and so on. I've not stopped her for once. In fact, there have been times she has ordered for her goods, and I have to go by myself to go and collect the goods and bring. And sometimes I had to be the one that will pay from my pocket the way bill. Now, you are partners, but also people. Unique, whole, and growing. You are partners, but also people. Unique, whole, and growing. When both of you are fully alive, your relationship becomes ever richer. Are you aware that one thing that people don't understand, they don't understand the power of counseling marriage seminar, training when there is no problem. People think that the only time they need counseling is when there is challenge in their marriage or in their relationship. You hear some people say, we are fine, we don't need counseling. That's what many couples say until they are not fine. In many marriages, counseling is treated like a fire extinguisher. Only pull out when things are burning. But what if I told you that it works even better as prevention cure? What if counseling isn't just for fixing problems, but for strengthening connections and convictions and adding wisdom? Now, I had a couple that shared how they started counseling. And while they started that counseling, it became one of the best seasons in their marriage. People thought they were crazy, but they saw it differently. They wanted to understand each other better before the storm came. And when life did hit, kids, career, transition, loss, they had the tools, the language, and the emotional safety to weather it together. Not perfectly, but intentionally. Now, I shared with us that every man that gets married or that is getting married is not marrying one wife. Some of these are bishops, they are just watching at me, and senior apostles and special senior apostles. You're not marrying one wife. Are you aware that your wife, the version of your wife during courtship is not the version after I do? It's not equally the version that time that she got pregnant. body changes a lot of things. There are things you never thought you will do. You will do when you get married. You did. Some of you never believe that you will cook. You never believe you will stay awake. You never believe that your wife sometimes will be doing like this. Sometimes you ask God, who sent me work? Now she's no more the version 2 during delivery. Please, that's why I keep insisting. Please go back and listen to those messages. We even talked about the experiences you have after baby comes. You know, in marriage, you are only happy. You are the one I've been waiting for. You don't prepare for those things. But there are people here that are already buying it. But the first time it wasn't like that. Some of you never believe that you will be the one bathing children, take them to school. Sometimes you have to stay with them. Look for what they will eat. Now, here is why counseling is still powerful when things feel fine. I want to show you the result. You learn to communicate before misunderstanding happens. Most fights doesn't start big. They start with small, unchecked assumptions. Counseling helps you to recognize patterns, triggers, and communication blind spots. Counseling helps you to recognize patterns, triggers, and communication blind spots. Number 2, you heal the silent hurts you didn't know were there. There are people that have silent hurts that they didn't know were there. You heal it. Sometimes something your spouse said years ago is still quietly hurting you. You moved on, but never fully healed. Counseling creates space to gently unpack what got buried. Mommy, we are with this book. Because mommy need to, some of these things, you need to put them together, expound them so that you have it. Number 3, you grow together, not apart. Life changes us. Your spouse was 5 years ago. What your spouse was 5 years ago is not who they are today. Counseling helps you keep learning about each other, adjusting together instead of drifting apart. When you got married to her, at one point it was only 2 of you. But now children will come and lie in between you. Sometimes she won't give you the time she used to give you because she will want to take children and many other things. Number 4, it normalizes vulnerability. You start talking about things you wouldn't normally say about loud. Fears, expectations, disappointments, and suddenly your emotional intimacy deepens. Marriage isn't just about surviving conflicts, it's about thriving in connection. And counseling isn't a sign of failure, it's a sign of wisdom. Even when nothing feels wrong, there's always room to understand more, love deeper, and grow together. Don't wait until you are on fire to call for help. Build a strong foundation now while things are calm. Because prevention is what? Better than cure. Because the best marriage aren't perfect, they are just prepared. Now, are you aware that there are times, even though you don't pay attention, you don't say it? What do you do when you feel like you love your spouse more than they love you? Hello? What do you do when you feel like you love your spouse than they love you? Or when it appears as if your spouse is trying to treat you as if they are doing you a favor marrying you. I understand that feeling when you realize that you are the one planning about almost everything. You are the one reaching out, trying, giving, loving, while they just receive. Even when it appears as if it's an issue, you are the one reaching out to go and say, sorry now, I'm sorry. And they are not responding. Sometimes you start asking yourself, do they love me the way I love them? Feeling like you love your spouse more than they love you isn't just painful, it's lonely. Especially in a relationship that's supposed to be mutual. Now, this is the things that happen if you are feeling. Now, one of the things you need to understand that there are different love languages. You may show love through words and affection, while your spouse may express love through act of service or responsibility. It's not that they don't care. They may just be speaking a language you are not recognizing or the language you don't understand. Have you been somewhere before and somebody spoke language you didn't understand? But it's communicating. That's the way it happens. Some misunderstanding. It's not because they don't love you, but it's because what is the woman's love language? You are not speaking it. What is the man's love language? You are not speaking it. Number 2, emotional imbalance over time. When one partner consistently overfunction, doing all the emotional work, the other may underfunction. Not always from laziness, but from comfort, from habit, or assumption that everything is fine. You know, there are people that. Are you aware that there are women, it's not wrong to cook. There are women that if you are the one cooking, bathing the children, at a point you will notice that they see it as everything is fine, it's normal. And sometimes some of them get angry even if you didn't do it again. It's emotional imbalance. So we need to strike a balance. Number 3, stress and disconnection. Sometimes the distance isn't about you, it's about life. About life. Work, parenting, finances, or personal struggles. A personal struggle can make your partner emotionally unavailable without realizing it. It's good to work, it's good to pursue career. But please don't pursue career to the detriment of your home. There are people that can leave by 6 a.m., they are coming in by 8 p.m. Even by weekend, they are going out. They don't even have time to sit down to have some discussion with their partner. It's not a good one. We need to strike balance. Number 4, resentment. The resentment that is not addressed. Unspoken frustration builds walls. If one or both partners have unresolved hurts, it may show up as indifference. It should show up like coldness, like withdrawal, even though love is still there beneath the surface. Now, what can you do in such a thing? The first thing to do is to start with honest communication instead of accusation. You don't love me like I love you. No. vulnerability, like I feel like I am only the one reaching out. I miss feeling loved or feeling chosen. Can we talk about it? But sometimes what will be in your heart, you want to burst with that anger. And the next person, I think in one of our teaching, we were able to study how to have discussions, make your partner listen, not to defend his or herself. Because sometimes me and you, what we do is we listen, and the more we are listening, we are picking out points to defend. And you hear some people say, I'm sorry, but. Don't add but. So I'm sorry, I didn't know it makes you feel this way. If I'm the one, I will feel that way too. Okay, I'm sorry. Then by the time you just say that I'm sorry and so on, that person is tension. It will cause tension. The person will want to listen to you. Wait for the person. Sometimes when you are even trying to share, the other partner just collect the word from your mouth. So calm down, not to defend yourself. Find out how you made the person feel, not how you felt. And just try to see how you can help that person. And understand that, okay, so and so thing hurts this person. So you know how to manage it, that it shouldn't hurt the person again. It shouldn't be what you last month is the same. You people argued and talked about it, but because the person didn't understand and begin to work on changing, next month again, it will begin to build up. Invite partnership, not performance. Hear me, your partner is not your project. Let them know you need what you need emotionally, but also invite them into shared responsibility for the relationship. With love, not pressure. Tell them, because sometimes are you aware that sometimes you tell your partner what they are doing you don't like? Sometimes you don't even take time to commend them, to say, Kai, I like this, so how I wish I would get more of it. Check the story you are telling yourself. Are you assuming they don't love you because they express it differently, or because they are not meeting your unspoken expectation? Because sometimes unspoken expectation is one of the challenge. Reflect on whether your feelings match their intention or just their action. Are you aware that a lot of us go into marriage with a lot of unspoken expectation? When you are not seeing that expectation, it becomes a challenge. And sometimes you won't open your mouth to even take time to talk about it. Because your partner is not inside your mind, inside your heart. They don't know what you like. Now, ask what love look like for them. Have you been able to ask your wife or ask your husband, what does love look like for you? You may be giving them what you define as love, not what they understand as love. What you don't give them what you assume. Some men feel that what is love is that I used to buy her things now. I used to give her money. Are you aware buying things and giving money can't fill up the emotion, can't fill up time, can't fill up commendation. There's nothing as good as the woman side by side, she's seeing you. Don't be a ghost partner. Invite mutual clarity and find the sweet spot where both of you feel seen. I want to say something very important. Don't keep score. Love is not a competition. While balance is important, true love gives. True love doesn't earn, it gives. Now, it gives. Please don't give expecting something in return, but to build up. If you are always giving and not refilled, it's time to reset, not to revenge. So since I'm the only one doing, I won't do again. I will revenge. Not a revenge mission. Feeling that you feeling like you love your spouse more than can be disheartening, but it doesn't always mean they love you less. Sometimes it means they show their own love differently. Their own love language. What they understand about love is different from what you understand about love. Sometimes it means life got loud. It means life got loud and love got quiet. Life got loud and love got quiet. What does it mean? Some of them, because of the harsh economy, because of how to pay bills. Are you aware that when a man begins to get to 40, 45, usually the man gets busier? The man gets busier because there are targets. Except if he's a lazy man, a visionless man. But when a woman gets older, the woman looks for more attention. But that man may not give you all that attention he gave you when it was just two of you, Romeo and Juliet. Because if you need a man that can give you his 24 hours, 24 hours won't pay bills. But we are not saying the man shouldn't balance it. Are you aware that if the man is staying with you 24 hours, looking at your face, holding you, smiling at you, and doing all the things you want him to do, one day you wake up and push him away and say, go and look for money? Did you marry me from my father's house to make me suffer? Men, are you aware that I love you the way you are doesn't mean I married you to remain the way you are? I love you the way you are. It means he believes that things will change. It doesn't mean that I married you to what? Remain the way you are. In fact, the love is sweeter when money is there. And sometimes it's a signal to pause, talk, just and readjust when it appears that way. Because a healthy marriage is not about who loves more. It's about both partners learning how to love better. Learning how to love better. And you know that there are people, sir, what they call love is just in the bedroom. There is something called affection outside the bedroom. Why do you think it matters more than you think? There are couples that can't hold their hands, walk together. There are couples that cannot, in the public, embrace themselves. It's not carnality. It's your wife. It's your husband. Listen to me. It's about the little moments. What is the little moment? I told you that during this season, I'll be saying so many things. We crave for what religion have made us to. About the little moments, the forehead kisses, the spontaneous hug, the I was thinking of you text, the way your partner reaches for your hand in public without thinking twice. You know that even my wife is an SU brought up. Sometimes if I hold her even in the public till now, she'll be doing like this. Don't you know we're in the public? No, I'm telling you. She's still that church girl. Now, but let me tell you, affection outside the bedroom is often where intimacy truly begins. And when it's missing, something in the relationship starts to feel off. Here is why it matters more than you think. It builds emotional safety. When your partner regularly shows non-sexual affection, it sends a message. You are loved for whom you are, not just for what you give me. It creates a safe emotional space where vulnerability can thrive. Are you aware that in the public, you just holds your wife, holds her hand? It makes her feel that you're not ashamed of her in the public. It makes her feel you are trying to show every other woman that she is the queen of your life. Well, are you aware that there are times some people you are... See, I don't believe in I go to church, my wife sits behind, me I sit in the front. It's a lie. I've been invited for meetings. They will move me and say, I will stand aside and ask my wife to go and sit down first. So if you can't provide my own chair, I'm not needed. Yes. I did my wedding. We had our Thanksgiving. I was a pastor of a church. We did our wedding on the 10th of November. On the 11th, when we came for Thanksgiving, ask her. I brought chair as the pastor of the church, the resident pastor of the church. I brought chair. I said they should keep chair. My wife sat with me. She started sitting with me before she was even ordained into ministry. Started sitting with me. I think she was ordained into ministry, I think about 22 years back, 21, 22 years back, into ministry. And she started preaching before she was officially ordained into ministry. The first day I told her to preach, she was saying no. I insisted. I said, you must preach. She came and preached that day. After preaching, she came down and said, sure, you have succeeded in disgracing me. But I said, praise God. If this one is called disgrace, get ready for more. And today she can preach and demonstrate God's power better than me. Some of you can testify that even if I am not around, you don't miss me. So it's a good one. Number 2, it keeps the spark alive. Romance isn't just about candles and music. It's in the way you pull yourself together. Sometimes while watching the telly, the kiss on their cheek, while you are cooking, those small moments create an ongoing connection, not just moments of passion. You know, sometimes my wife will be in the kitchen, I'll come and think, Kola. So comes, leave me, don't you know? But you think used to. But any day too, I just come, he will see me in the morning, we just greet, and I make it official, like, how are you? She asked me a question. The next thing she said, we need to talk. Don't I say, but this thing is what I'm giving you free of charge. So I now knew that she loved, even though she is still doing, she has not fully loosened up, she still likes the thing. You know, when I started teaching in the month of June, I said I started with the things I learned in the journey of marriage. So that is it. Now, it reduces pressure in the bedroom. When affection is only tied to sex, one partner may start feeling like physical touch is a transaction. Don't just go touch your wife when you feel that what you want to do is salamatu kwanta. And she will kwanta like dry wood. Now, are you aware that non-sexual affection says, I want to be close to you, no strings attached? And ironically, that often leads to more intimacy naturally. It is when you make deposit, that's when you begin to look for what? Withdrawal. No deposit from week to week, day to day, from morning to evening, and then in the night when the woman is sleeping, you are going to touch. If you touch the skirt or the wrapper, it will hit your hand and remove it. There was no deposit. I buy my wife gifts. I know the things she like. It is very rare for a week to go without buying something for her. But one day I was coming, I didn't buy what I know she likes. I didn't know what when they said, Kai, I felt like eating so and so thing. Kai, I felt bad. There are sometimes I buy the things too. She won't eat it that day, it will be the next day. But it didn't stop me from. Now, it means different love language. It means different love language. Not everyone crave physical intimacy in the same way. Some value quality time, acts of service, or words of affirmation. Simple affectionate gesture can touch every one of these without needing to take it to the bedroom. But you know that some of us, we just only say, she is not, he is not. But when you have not learned to invest, you want. Number 5, it fights off emotional distance. Life gets busier. Kids, careers, responsibility, they pile up. But when you pause to hug your spouse, you tell them, even in chaos, I still chose you. We are still together. Now, what is the simple way to share affection? 1, a warm hug before leaving the house. Number 2, holding hands in the public. Number 3, sitting close without distraction. Number 4, texting I love you during the daytime. It's not a sin to tell your wife I love you. Sometimes I sit in the office, I just feel like I want to see my wife. I'll call her on phone. How are you? I just called to hear your voice. I love you. Or I miss you. I do that. But I do it more now than 24 years ago we got married. Complimenting their smiles, their outfit, or their language. I was still in the office this evening when she came in. I look at her and say, Kai, my old lady. You see the smile in her face. Sometimes when I come, Ben is saying, you are in Genesis and Romans. You don't even look at me and tell me how I look. Say they like the thing. I didn't know how powerful it is. Many years back, she is big now. But in those days, what we used to call her is baby gold. That time, she didn't have younger ones. She would tell you, don't you know I'm baby gold? She used that thing to chop. Oh. So one day she went and played her hair. And came around me. She was doing the hair like this and going around. Me, I was busy with my thing. No be JJC. Say, Daddy, you didn't see my hair. Say, it's beautiful. So I learned that. One day my wife said, you this your spirituality. That was many years back. Somebody will even go and make hair come. You didn't even look at my hair and say, look. You know, that's a hairstyle my wife always wants me to make. Well, because I'm an SU guy. So sometimes I'll go and shave the thing is shining. I'll go and get oil and rub on the thing. If she didn't see it, I'll be doing it like this. But you know that, sometimes that thing is okay. You barb your hair, I say yes. Sometimes she will not see. I'll come and tell my children I come and touch. Even my sons, when they barb their hair, they will come and show me their hair. And sometimes they are not happy if I have not beat the hair like this. They like it. Now, touching their back as you walk by. They may be busy doing something, just rub their back. So, ladies, in case they do that, it's allowed. And you know, some of you, it's what you are already saying, just teach them, let them learn. Now, laughing together is build connection too. Great marriages aren't made in the bedroom. They are made in the ordinary, unfiltered, consistent act of love shown outside of it. So don't wait for a special night or grand moments to express affection. Show up in small ways every day. Because when your partner feels seen, wanted, loved outside the bedroom, it changes everything inside the bedroom. Let me take this as we pray. Our time is fast spent. Now, married but not happy. There are people that are married but they are discontented. They are not contented. Everyone thought, somebody said that everyone thought I and my wife were perfect couples. And that person said, our Instagram says so. Matching outfits on our anniversaries, family photos with our kids, all smiling in coordinated colors. But behind the filter and the family portrait, there was silence. Please get beverages on your way home. You know, some marriages, that's the way it is. Now, he said they weren't fighting or yelling. She just stopped showing care. Now, this man, after sharing his story, one of the questions that was asked the wife at the end of the complaint during the counsel. You know, one of the things that was, can I tell you, one of the counsel that was given, can I tell you, do you like to hear? They are told to go through their wedding photos. Go through your wedding photos. Not just to peruse. Take your time, watch it together. To remind yourself of why you loved yourself. Why you loved, why you cared for yourself, and why you chose each other. Those reminders speaks louder than voice. Sometimes it has a way of fixing everything. After that action, for the first time in many years, they opened the door for each other. They admitted their disconnect. They acknowledged their pain. And most importantly, agreed to try again. Not for Instagram post, not for the kids, but for them. Oh my God, I don't know if you understand. Are you aware that there are people, a lot of things you see in Instagram, in Facebook, and so on, is just hypocrisy. That you know that man is a cruel man. That woman is a very stubborn woman. She looks as like a lamb in the physical, but have a lionic nature. But to fulfill routine and all righteousness, the husband will write an epistle and say, you are a gift from God to me. But meanwhile, the man have gone to God many times, and God, what did I do to you to punish me with this woman? So the question you should ask yourself as you are married or you are getting married, am I a reward from God, or am I a judgment? There are a lot of men that there are judgments in the life of a man. There are a lot of women that are a judgment. That the man could have risen higher, but because that woman came, And that woman, because of carnality and so many other things, a nonchalant attitude. The truth is, you can love your spouse and still feel lost in marriage. You can do life together and still feel completely alone. The danger isn't in the absence of love, it's in the absence of honest conversation. If you are married but not happy, don't wait for things to fall apart before you say something. Break the silence. Speak the truth in love and give your marriage a chance to breathe again. Because sometimes healing doesn't begin with affection. It begins with one brave, simple question. Are we okay? Are we okay? What is our vision for the next season? Be honest and ask. Be honest and ask. What if you are, if the Lord appear to you and ask you, what and what will you tell God about me? What and what do you feel that needs change? Or what and what am I doing that is hurting you? That if you have the power to change, have that honest conversation. But not to change them to be like you, but to be their best. Because no two persons can be the same. It is possible to fulfill marital destiny. Can I say this to you? Anybody you marry will determine 80% of who you become and what you become. I told us the other time when we were talking about the blueprint of marriage that before you even marry, take your time before you go into marriage with anybody to look at their ancestral flow. Look at their background. Who are they? What is their... If you don't deal with it before marriage, you will end up in that marriage fighting it. If there is any judgment flowing from that woman's side, it will affect you. If there's any judgment flowing from the man's side, it will affect you. Are you aware if a man carries a cause that he will not give birth, it will affect the wife? If the woman carries a cause that anyone that this woman marries will not live long, it will affect the husband. So it's important not just to look at her and you are looking at big bomb and big milk industry, and you're looking at behind the fine face there could be ancestral baggages. Find out the ancestors. Look at their family. Look at how the mother of that girl treats the father. Listen to me, the mother of that girl, if he doesn't respect the father, treat the father well, let me say this to you. If God don't help you, it's the same thing she will replicate. The women in their family. How does the father treat? Are you aware that there are some ladies that they are having challenges in their marriage because of the way they saw their father treat their mother? And they have vowed that they will revenge on the man that they marry. They won't allow a man, even when the man is sincerely showing them love, the man is a suspect. And don't talk about getting married when you have not healed. Don't carry your bag and baggages and enter a marriage to hurt an innocent man, hurt an innocent woman. Are you aware that there are some people that when they look at the husband they are getting married to, what they are seeing is their ex that have hurt them? He is seeing his ex, she is seeing, and now you will be making the man to pay for what he doesn't know. Making the woman to pay for what? So receive wisdom in the name of Jesus. I want us to stop here tonight. I don't know if you've learned something. Can you rise on your feet? We give you praise. Thank you, Father. Now, I want us to pray 5 major prayers. We're going to ask God for healing. Healing. There are a lot of people hurting. Can you ask God for healing? Can you ask God for healing?